the Calgary Public School District, they also have a homework policy, and in their homework policy I found it really interesting that none of their teachers are permitted to discipline a student for not completing homework. Can't stay in, can't, decrease their grade. And so all of these things the homework committee has taken into consideration, and the next part of our afternoon is the most important. In your package, if you turn to the next pages, you will see the January update of a discussion paper, which is really the framework for a new homework policy. And what I would like you to do is take a few moments to skim through it. There's different sections on grading, sections on opting out of homework, sections on the types of homework. Take some time, read it, and then at your table you can have a little discussion about things that you found interesting or any recommendations that you may have. Thank you, everyone. You could leave this afternoon and have a really good understanding as to the direction our district is taking. And what I would like to show now is a quick little video clip that comes from Alberta Prime Time. And they did a story on homework that is rooted very much in our school district. So we'll try it and see what the video capabilities are like.
The debate over the value of homework for kids continues to rage amongst educators and parents. Many feel excessive homework is hurting kids, isn't leaving time for valuable extracurricular activities, and makes it hard for children to get the sleep they need. And while 70% of Canadian parents say homework is a source of stress in their household, a study by the Canadian Council of Learning found an overwhelming majority of Canadian parents believe homework is a valuable tool. It's a timeless debate. Homework, does it help learning or hinder it? And joining us first from Calgary is Tom Milley, a lawyer and a father of two who spent 2 years negotiating a no homework agreement with his children's school division. Welcome to Alberta Primetime, Tom.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. First, give us a sense of what the issues were that prompted you and your family to push for this no homework pact with your school division.
Well, we found that when we got home at night, we were spending a whole lot of time doing homework, and that tended to interfere in our children's extracurricular activities, and it didn't leave us much time to concentrate on the weak areas where they needed help, because we were just doing assigned tasks.
And so I understand it's not that your children are not doing homework at home. So give us a sense of what the pact looks like and sort of how it's been playing out at home.
Well, the pact is that the school no longer assigns homework and sends it home for our children, especially homework for marks. And what we're free to do in the evenings when we don't have extracurricular activities is work on their weak areas. For instance, my daughter has problems with spelling, so now we take the time to work with her on her spelling.
I'm sure that you weighed, of course, the pros and cons before embarking on this. But are you concerned that your children, if they're sort of taken out of this mix, that other kids in their class will be getting extra work in, and there's the potential there for your kids to sort of fall behind the rest of the group?
I don't believe so, because we're very conscientious about ensuring that our children study for tests and working with them. And I review my son's math on a nightly basis. And generally, we just make sure that they know their stuff.
Okay.
And we put it to them that they have to work extra hard in school.
Of course, another one of the sort of arguments for homework is that it gets kids prepared for the next level of schooling. I mean, certainly high school, there's going to be homework. University, primarily homework. Are you concerned that those skills won't be as honed as they could be by the time they hit that level?
No, I don't believe so, because as I said, we work with them at home on their weak areas, and we study with them for tests. I make sure that my children know their math. I work with them on math. My wife works with them on the other subjects.
Okay. From a social point of view, 10, 11 years old, that can be a funny time for kids socially. Were you concerned at all going into this that there would be any kind of backlash, being that your kids are the only two sort of amongst the group that aren't assigned homework?
I haven't seen any backlash yet. My children haven't mentioned any, and if anything, I think that some of the other kids may be a bit envious, but they're not taking it out on my children. They're probably taking it out on their parents.
Right, and that's the school. How about feedback from other parents? Has anyone jumped on board with you, Tom, and liked the idea and are now pushing for it themselves?
I know that other people have expressed an interest in the idea, and they've gotten our agreement with the school, but what they're doing with that, I'm really not sure.
Okay. Give us a sense of how you'll tackle this going forward. You've got, as I understand, one child still in elementary, another in junior high school. That agreement is in place for the kid in junior high school. Going into high school, will you look to continue this trend of a pact that would allow them to be exempt from doing homework?
Probably not in high school, because we've taken a look at the research, and the research suggests that there is no real value in elementary school, but there is some value in high school.
Okay. Great stuff, Tom. Certainly appreciate your time this evening.
Thank you.
Tom Milley, Calgary father of two, who negotiated a no homework agreement with his children's school. And we'll get into the debate with educators on both sides when Alberta Primetime returns.
Well, it's good because it kind of keeps your brain working towards what you're going for. It's not just kind of like shutting it off at the end of the day, and it kind of keeps you progressing all the time.
Very beneficial. I think it's underrated. I think people try to get away from it a lot more than they ought to, and there's a lot that people can get out of it, but you know, they're trying to balance a lot of things in their lives.
Too much can be not beneficial, but the right amount probably would be all right.
Homework that's critical to students is important, but excessive homework just so that they memorize or just so that they do have something to do at home isn't.
So some interesting and pretty astute thoughts there from Albertans on the benefits of homework. To continue the discussion, we're joined now by Dr. Charles Weber, a former teacher and principal, now a professor of education administration and leadership at the University of Calgary. Also from Calgary, Laurie Scaper-Birch. She's coordinator of instruction at the Foundations for the Future Charter Academy. And from Barrie, Ontario this evening, Jan Olsen, the first Canadian principal to ban homework from his K-8 public school. Welcome to Alberta Primetime, all of you.
Thank you for having me.
Jan, I'll start with you. You banned homework at your school, and you're restructuring the way students are taught. First, what prompted the move, and what have you seen in terms of results?
Well, we saw significant discrepancy in what homework was being produced in different socioeconomic groups. We also saw a lot of work being put into working with homework and punishments and things like that. Since we have started this, we've noticed an improvement in our report card marks, and we've also noticed a difference in our test scores on the provincial standardized testing. Feedback from parents have shown that they're very happy about it, most of them, that their kids can be involved in other extracurricular activities and family things, and also from teachers where students seem to be more focused and motivated during class time.
Okay, Laurie, in your view, why is homework important?
Well, we believe that homework is important because students need the opportunity to practice and apply what they're learning in the classroom. The classroom is usually really focused on the learning process with some opportunity to practice, but learning extends beyond the school day, and students need more time to think about things, more time to process things, more time to try things out and to apply it, as well as get some feedback on how they're progressing towards the ultimate learning targets that they want to hit.
Okay. Charles, what's your take on sort of the both points of view that you're hearing right now?
Well, I think some good points have been raised on both sides of the fence there. I think homework on its own isn't good or bad. There's good homework and there's bad homework, just like there's good teaching and there's bad teaching. Homework that engages, that extends thinking, that causes students to apply the things that they've learned in the school in a particular beneficial way is terrific. Done badly, it's rote learning. It's learning that doesn't require anything more than memorization or use of a particular kind of, say, problem solving. Another way that it's bad is if it's used for, for grading inappropriately. Very often that comes down to giving zeros on homework assignments where the students get it back to the school late or perhaps incomplete, and there are all kinds of reasons why students do that. So that affects their classroom grades and so forth, so that's inappropriate. But used well, homework can extend the learning learning. It can bring the family together. It can cause them to go into the community to access the resources that are there. And so for that reason, it can be good.
Okay, well, I want to read a quote from the Canadian Council of Learning. They write, up to a point, classes in schools that assign more homework appear to produce students with better achievement than classes in schools that assign less. Nonetheless, some studies indicate a point of diminishing returns for amount of homework assigned. Obviously, as you mentioned, Jan, there are some socioeconomic issues that come into this as well, but is there a balance to be struck rather than